What up, what up, what up, what up, family? Good morning. Welcome to my writer's life. This is Alicia Anabel Santos, episode 9, Why I Write. And so, happy December 1st, family. It's December 1st. We are in our last month of 2018, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling determined. And I'm feeling like a writer's challenge for December to end 2018 over the next 31 days. And so I want to introduce right off the bat that I am officially starting the Write the Fucking Story challenge on December 15th. We are going to write from December 15th through January 15th for a month. And so what that does is it allows us to really push ourselves to create for the last 2 weeks of December. I'm actually going to start today, but I'm going to give you 2 weeks to kind of make a decision as to whether or not you want to join. And so I'm going to be posting about that separately later today. But December 15th, for those of you who really want to end the year strong and really feel like you want to have something that you've created, that you feel like you want to gift yourself something beautiful. You want to finish a story, an essay, a poetry book, whatever it is that you have your eye on, we can do this. We can do this. We can get it done. And it's going to be hard, but it's going to be fun and you're going to be supported. So I just want to say that. Do find me, email me. I'm accessible. I'm going to start off with this. I am not going to chase writers to join me. I'm going to post what's going on, how it's going to happen, what the expectations are, what the goals are for the writing challenge, and you're going to join whether you want to or not. You're going to make that decision for yourself. Listen, we're at the point in our lives as writers whether we are going to shit or get off the pot, for lack of a better phrase or term. Like, we're either going to do it or we're not going to do it. And if you want to do it, know that I have a challenge that's going to be no joke. It is not going to be easy, but I know it's going to be fulfilling and enriching and you're going to gain something. So I'm going to talk about Write the Fucking Story later on today. Why I came on, though, this morning was to talk a little bit about why I write. I didn't know that I was born to be a writer. I never knew that. I never knew at a young age that it was my calling. I might have had an inkling, an idea that I was a storyteller, that any story that I would say to people, that I would paint it with like colorful imagery, and that I loved to embellish. And so I think that as a young girl, I was absolutely creative and I was absolutely a daydreamer. But I could never say at 9 years old, I knew I was a writer. I absolutely did not. Because at that age in my life, I was too busy having my dreams crushed at 9 years old. I was too busy already being conditioned to believe that my stories didn't matter. Anything that came out of my mouth didn't matter. I didn't matter because I was a girl. And I didn't matter because I was Black. I was a brown girl. And so early on, I was conditioned to believe these things. And I understood very early on that I needed to work hard and I needed to get a job. And so there were very clear rules for girls, for good Dominican girls. You don't leave the house without getting married. You certainly don't get pregnant without being married. And I was breaking all kinds of fucking rules at jump. I mean, I was having a baby at 20 and getting married and after that, and yeah, I certainly never lived my life according to the rules that were expected from a good Dominican girl, but I digress. Why do I write? Why I write? I didn't know that I was writing to free myself. I didn't know that I was writing to heal myself. I didn't know that I was writing my way into existence. That I was writing my way into this world that refused to see me, hear me, or respect me. I didn't know that. I couldn't have known that. What I knew when I came out as a writer after September 11th was that I wanted to gift my daughter something that showed her that I existed, that I mattered, that I had a story. And through the process of discovery, of really pushing myself to be on this journey of self-discovery and awareness, is where I discovered that I was born to write. I didn't know that. I couldn't have known that. But there were things that the universe was gifting me. There were books that I had on my bookshelf that I was collecting so many years prior to that, October 3rd, 2001, when I claimed the title, I am a writer. I am a writer. And I said those words and it was affirming. And I haven't looked back. I have doubted myself. But I knew in that moment that I was here to write some things. Why do I write? There were reasons why I wrote then. I felt like I had something to prove. I wanted so much to be validated and acknowledged. I wanted to be seen as smart. And so I was teaching myself. I was reading everything I could get my hands on writing and craft and process. And I was definitely on this DIY writer's life. You know, I was doing my own MFA program, you know, in fiction and nonfiction, memoir and poetry, and creating these spaces to write and for writers, right? I'm the founder of the New York City Latina Writers Group that has close to 800 members. And so, and I created the New York City Latina Writers Group. We are in our 12th year now, with the intention of being in a space that was nurturing of writers like me, a space where writers like me could create and feel that they were in a safe space where they didn't have to defend their work, translate their work, or be judged for their work. Why I write. Then, when I came out, I was writing for girls like me. I was writing for Latinas. I was writing for my daughter. I was writing for my family. I was writing, it was all about legacy. It was all about proving something to myself. Why I write today. All the reasons why I've written and I wrote to begin with. But today, the writer that I am 17 years later is someone who is a lot more grounded. I write so that girls like me can see their stories, their faces reflected in the pages. I write to be a part of the literary canon. I write to be respected by my peers because I want my work to be received internationally, nationally. I want my story to reach everyone, people from all walks of life. I want to write a universal story where the faces of the characters are Black and brown people. But it's a universal story because it's a universal story of love and compassion and justice and power. I write because I'm writing myself out of the margins. I write to free myself of a past that has been incredibly oppressive. I write to empower myself. And by empowering myself, I pray that those who read my work find their way to freedom. Because I'm not here to free anyone. But I write in hopes that some little girl, some little black or brown boy or girl can say, shit, if she can do it, I can too. I write so that people of color can realize that we have always mattered. And so I write for many things, and I write with many people in mind. It can be scary though, because you feel like you're writing with this weight on your shoulder, this huge responsibility to capture something in a way that is received well by the people you're writing for, because, criticism will come. There are people who will judge and review the work. There are people who will take you down. I think one of the things that's paralyzing for a writer is, what will they say? What will they think? ¿Qué dirán? What will my family think if I write that memoir? What will my family think or my lover think if I share the abuses or traumatic experiences of our past? What will my family think if I'm writing a story with queer characters? It's enough to make us stop writing, to make us feel paralyzed. And so I think it's important to remember why we write. At the same time, I think it's important for us to push people out of our writing space, our writer's room. They can't be in our stories. Those voices cannot be in the stories we're trying to write and create, or we're never going to get it done. We're never going to finish it, because if we allow them to dictate what it is that we're writing on our pages, to censor our work, to police our work, we will never create anything. And so I think it's very important, as we remember why we write, to remember to fucking show up for ourselves, and to remember that why I write, this is my job. This is my job. I have things that pay the bills. I teach. I'm the writing midwife. I'm a writing coach. I teach writing to senior citizens, to high school students, to middle school students. I work. I'm giving back, right? And that is what pays the bills. But my job, I'm a writer. I am a writer, and I have things to do. So it's important to take that seriously, to constantly be recommitting to ourselves, to our craft. And it's all right if we didn't write yesterday. Fucking write today. It matters what you do today. It matters what you do today. And so this is why even sharing this diary with you, this podcast about my writer's life, is so significant to me, because today I'm making a new commitment, new vows about my writer's life, and I'm reminding myself why I write. So let's write. You ready for your prompts? Prompt 1. The moment I discovered I was a writer, the moment I discovered that I was a writer. This is the when, the how, the why, what brought you to the page. You can pause this meditation at any moment, these prompts at any moment, to just think about and write this out, like get it all out. Set a timer, maybe 5 minutes. The moment I discovered I was a writer, and then you can come back and receive the other prompts. Prompt 2. Why I write. Who are you writing for? Why do you write? What is your reason? What's the purpose? What's the point? Why? Why do you write? To what? Prompt 3. The story I was born to tell. And write and write and write until you get it all out of your body, and you remind yourself why it is that you were chosen for this craft, because I know that I was chosen. I got a beautiful text this week from an amazing writer I adore. Girl, you know who you are. I love you. Who said to me, Alicia, You are so smart, Alicia. You are anointed. You have gifts. And that was such a beautiful um, affirmation for me, you know, when we're looking for someone to mirror back to us what we give and why we're here. Because sometimes we forget and we doubt our abilities because people will doubt our abilities. We need those amazing people who say, yo, you are the shit and you can do this. So I'm here to tell you, you are the shit. You can do this. You are a writer. Remember what you are here to do and why you were chosen. You were chosen to be a vessel. You were chosen to tell this story. So please write it. My intention, my intention for today is to listen to my characters and to write. Yo, we out, family. Go write. Peace.